I'm Bex from Social Media Executive, and today we're going to be talking about how do we reduce our time on social media as a business, but still get really, really good results. Because we know, I've got Sam here, she's an amazing digital wellbeing trainer and coach, and she specialises in helping to businesses and individuals, schools and things. You'll introduce yourself in a minute, won't you, Sam? Yeah. But she specialises really in looking after ourselves when it comes to our digital well-being, whether we're a business, an individual, whatever purposes you're using social media for. Today, she's going to be sharing lots of tips for businesses on how to reduce your time and not spend hours on social media without getting any results. So yes, Sam, please do tell us who you are.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone. I'm Sam Flynn. Yes, so I am a digital wellbeing coach, and much like Bex, actually, my main background has always been in social media. So I've been a social media trainer for the last 15 odd years, quite a long time. And as you know, Bex, it's changed a hell of a lot in those 15 years. Not necessarily for the better, I don't think, but anyway.
We're always learning.
We're always learning, yeah. So yeah, and then for the past 4 years, I have segued into digital wellbeing. So my background's actually in organizational psychology. So it's really kind of combining the two, the digital and the psychology, to help people understand how the digital world impacts our well-being. And it's not just about a negative impact, though unfortunately there are negative impacts. It's everything. It's how can it have a positive impact on our well-being as well. So it's not about saying, let's reject the digital world, throw our smartphones in the toilet and flush them away, and forget it ever exists, because we can't. We're well and truly in it. It's about how do we do it in a way that doesn't negatively impact things like our mental health, our sleep, our focus and attention, that doesn't steal all our time away, which is something we're really focusing on today. So yeah, I do workshops in organizations on digital wellbeing and digital culture as well, which is how organizations use digital in the way that kind of impacts well-being. And I also work with children and parents on understanding digital well-being and things like childhood device use, and particularly smartphone use. So it covers everything really, the digital world, and combining it with understanding how that impacts our well-being.
It is, and it's so important, isn't it? Because you just get sucked in, don't you? And you don't realise it. And before you know it, you've forgotten to pick the kids up because you're still scrolling through your phone, or you're trying to do this. And it's scary,
I mean,
isn't it?
they're designed, particularly social media. Obviously, we know it's amazing as a marketing tool. Like, this definitely, and people always say to me, like, aren't you now working in polar opposite to what you were doing with social media? I'm like, no, absolutely not. I still love social media. It's not that I've rejected it or telling people to leave it. It's helping people understand it, the way in which it works, and how we can make sure we don't waste time on it, because they are designed to be addictive. You know, every social media platform has been designed with the hope that you will spend as much time on there as you possibly can, because then they learn more about you, and then they can deliver adverts to you that are highly applicable, and then you click on those adverts and they make money. So it's in their interest that you do get caught in the scroll, that you don't think, oh God, this is enough now, I'm going to put it down. And that's why we have things like algorithms feeding us things that are of interest to us, so that we don't want to put it away and put it down. So I do think it's quite a big issue for anyone whose actual job is social media, or anyone who runs their own business and has, it's us, isn't it, that we do have to be on social media. But how do we have that kind of point where we go, right, switch off now, I've done enough? That's what I help people with, really.
And it's really interesting because, what we come across, don't we, people who just won't touch social media for their business because they're just like, no. But actually, there's a huge potential as a business for social media if you use it in the right way. And I had an amazing talk that you came along to, Sam. It was at one of Simon Edmondson's events, and I thought, right, I've got to bring Sam on one of my live streams because you're going to share a few tips today on how to make sure you are smarter at using social media to promote your business, so that you're getting a return on investment for the time you're putting in and the time you're putting out. And that's so crucial, isn't it?
It is, because I think, we all, as business owners or as marketers, we all know that social media is part of our job. And it can be easy to be like, oh, well, I'm working. But if you're spending
Yeah,
3, 4 hours a day on social media, are you seeing the return value for that time you've spent? Are you getting enough work back for that 3 or 4 hours that you're spending every day on social media?
yeah,
And I think when you ask that hard question, I think a lot of people would probably go, actually, probably not. I'm
yeah,
probably not getting the return on the time I'm putting into it or spending on it.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, so it's really, really important that we do take those steps. So yeah, I mean, I always say, when people say, what's the kind of number one tip that you'd give people? My number one tip is always just turn off your notifications.
yeah,
Because if, again, going back to the idea that, most of the people watching will be some form of marketer or business owner, um, if you are constantly seeing your phone lighting up telling you someone's commented on your LinkedIn post, or someone sent you a direct message on Instagram, or someone's liked your Facebook post, it's really taking your attention away from the hard work you're supposed to be doing.
yeah,
And even if you think, I won't look at that now, I'll look at it later, it's kind of too late. It's taken your attention already, even if you don't kind of pick up your phone and start looking at it. But the other thing is, you might think, oh, there's a comment, right? Okay, I'll reply to that comment. And then, oh, you're on Instagram now, and oh wow, that looks like a nice recipe video. I might make that later. And then and before you know it, you've just picked
yeah,
up your phone because it told you to, by notifying you that there was a comment. You think you're just going on to reply to that comment and that's it. And then, like you said before, hours passes,
yeah,
and you've got sucked into the scroll. So yeah, I think turning off your notifications, you will see a dramatic difference in the time you spend on social media, because then
yeah,
you'll be more kind of focused when you do go on it. It's that, right, okay, oh, there's been a few comments in the 2 hours since I posted, or an hour since I posted. I replied to those comments, right, I'll get back to what I'm doing. And then maybe later on in the day, right, I'll jump on again. Oh, there's been more comments, right, I'll reply to those. Oh, I've had a direct message, I'll reply to that.
mm.
None of it needs to be instant.
And it doesn't, does it? But I remember when social media, a few years ago, everyone was like, you must reply instantly on social media. You must do this. And I'm like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah,
They're not going to go away. They've left that message. You know who they are. You wouldn't reply instantly. Nobody expects you to reply instantly to an email, do they?
no,
And I
absolutely.
think it's really important.
Do reply
Yeah.
instantly to emails as well.
Yeah.
That's another notification to turn off your phone, but that's a different topic.
Yeah. Completely different topic for another
Yeah,
day. For another
for
day,
another
we'll
day
talk about
to do
emails.
email. Yeah.
Yeah. But it is, and I think that's really important, because you lose your train of thought. So if you're right in the
Mhm.
middle of something, you completely forget. Well, I would. Completely forget what I was even supposed to be doing. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a
Yeah.
great tip.
Yeah, it's one that makes it's such a simple one, because you can just pick up your phone right now and turn off those notifications, and you will see the difference straight away. I think the stats something like, people who have notifications turned off pick up their phone a third less than people who have all notifications turned on. Because essentially, when your notifications are on, you're giving the control to the phone to kind of say, oh, I'm happy for you to just interrupt me whenever you want. Whereas
Yeah,
you get the control back over your phone when you go, actually, no, I will decide when I'm going to check on LinkedIn if anyone's commented. I'll
yeah,
decide when I'm going to see if that person I was direct messaging on Instagram has responded.
yeah.
So, yeah, very important.
And actually, you miss some really vital information. I'm going to use my dad as an example. He's in hospital at the moment,
Mm.
and he was missing all the messages and the phone calls and stuff. And I was like, "What? Why?" And he hadn't switched off any notifications for
Right. Okay.
any of his sort of Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
They were all coming through, so he was missing the
Yeah.
important
It just
messages
gets,
from
yeah,
family.
lost
I
in the
did.
volume of them.
So I
Yeah.
went through his phone. So yeah, if anyone doesn't know how to do it, you just go into settings, you scroll down into notifications and look at your apps. And each
Yeah.
app, you can just individually click through those apps and
That's it, and
switch
you can
those
choose which
notifications
ones
off.
you can keep on as
Yeah.
well, because I know some people, there
Mhm.
will be certain apps that you will be like, "Well, I do need to know for
Yeah.
that one." Personally, I
Yeah.
have pretty much all of mine off apart from phone calls, but,
I
um,
do. I do, to be fair.
just
Yeah.
don't
And
like
then,
being interrupted.
yeah, WhatsApp, although I mute certain groups on WhatsApp, busy
Yeah,
groups, WhatsApp stays on, and message and phone. That's all I have as well. Yeah.
yeah, it does
Brilliant.
help, definitely. Yeah, that'd be my number
Yeah.
1 tip. Another one I would say is always with purpose. So if I'm going on Instagram, it's with the purpose of doing X, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like thinking, right, okay, I need to post a reel. So my purpose is I'm going to go on Instagram, I'm going to post that reel, or I have comments to reply to. I'm going to go on LinkedIn, I'm going to reply to those comments. It might be that you think, oh, I've got 5 minutes spare. I'm going to go on LinkedIn and I'm going to engage with people. But what you're doing is you're not just going, I'm a bit bored, I'll just jump on LinkedIn. It's like, to do what? You know, ask yourself that question. What am I doing on here? And then it kind of trains your focus to kind of go, okay, yes, I'm on here for business. So I'm going to reply to these people. And that's not to say that you can never scroll, because that could be the purpose too. It might be, you know what, I'm just going to have 10 minutes of scrolling and getting a bit of inspiration from others and seeing some things I like to see. But the purpose is there, as opposed to just how have I ended up on Instagram and I've been on it for the last 2 hours. You know, it's kind of like, pick it up, do it for the purpose, put it away again, and go back to whatever you were on before, or move on to the next task. So always I talk about kind of unconscious versus conscious digital use. And that would be a conscious digital use. What am I consciously doing right now on LinkedIn or on Facebook or on Instagram, that will hopefully deliver some results for business as well? You know, it's another important question to ask, is what I'm doing right now on this platform actually going to deliver business results in some way? So am I relationship building? Am I sharing content? Or am I just scrolling and because I'm bored, I don't bother doing anything else?
Because you see people on trains, don't you? You know, the train might be a 20-minute train drive, or people might pop on for the lunch hour.
Yeah.
And you can just waste time with absolute drivel. And actually, it can make you feel a bit worse because everybody looks so amazing. But I absolutely agree with you. I tend to go on if I've got time, and I'll pop on. I went on the other day, I was on the train and I just popped on and I went through my feed. I did engage, but I also spent time unfollowing people who were of absolute no use to my business objective. And I think that's what you need to do, isn't it? Really focus on, what is your business objective? What are we here to do? Is that going to be of value to my business? Yeah,
it's that question, isn't it, all the time? Like, is this really truly adding value to my business? Is this really truly leading me to my objectives? Or am I just wasting time? And it is a time drain, you know. And I think time is something very few of us say we have a lot of. You know, if you ask anyone, they're like, oh, I've got no time, or I wish I had time to do this, or always feel like I haven't got enough time. So losing time to social media just can't really be an option, can it?
No. And it's funny because it's one of the reasons that I joined, that I created the Social Flock, which is my membership group where we come together, businesses come together and write their content together. But we write it in an hour on Zoom together. Because I was finding people spending 2 hours writing a post on social media. So instead, in the group, we come together each week, we write 3 posts in the hour, job done. You know, and it makes people feel so much better.
It's a great idea because well, it hits 2 things, doesn't it? It's that body doubling of like making sure you actually get it done, because otherwise I know some people are just dilly-dally and be like, actually, maybe not this week, maybe I won't post anything. And secondly, it limits the time, doesn't it? Because it's like, absolutely, we will fill the time if we can, won't we? So spending 2 hours creating one social media post is just it's not really going to be effective business use of time, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I'll put, if anybody's interested, I will put a link to the Social Flock in as well. We're always looking for new members, so I'll pop a link in the chat. Oh, did you just see my oh, you didn't see it? I had a post-it note up there. I thought it went along the camera. I was like, oh, post-it note. Go on then, Sam. What's your next tip?
So my third tip would be out of sight, out of mind. So you can look at this in 2 ways, really. If your phone is next to you on your desk, you're going to pick it up and you're going to do it unconsciously. You're just going to be like, oh, this is a bit boring what I'm working on. Oh, what's this? This is exciting. I'll go on LinkedIn and it's work. It's fine, you know. So phone's away until you need it. And if you're connecting business calls with your phone or anything like that, of course, you can keep it out of sight, out of mind, at a distance, and still be able to hear if you're getting calls.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be there on the desk. But the other way of looking at this as well is social media doesn't have to exist through apps. We can actually do all of our social media on desktop. And the thing with mobile apps, obviously, is the word mobile. They come with us
Yeah.
everywhere. So we can be on Instagram in the toilet or in the school playground waiting for our kids to come out or in the dentist waiting for an appointment. It's always with us. And therefore, it's damaging in two ways, really. Firstly, if you're using it pretty much for business only and you're then at night sat down watching something on the telly and you find yourself on LinkedIn or Instagram and you're in business mode, you're in work mode, and you're not getting the downtime you need to recover ready for the next work day.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that, we're just going to go on it far, far more, as opposed to if we put it on our desktop only, we shut down for the day, and it's not there unless we kind of go and sit at our desk and go on LinkedIn. So out of mind could mean putting your phone out of sight, but it could also mean actually get rid of the apps so that when you go on your phone, you're not kind of attracted to that LinkedIn button or that Instagram button or whatever your social media app of choice is, and you just use it solely in business hours. And I think that can make a huge, huge difference to how you feel that social media is draining all your time and energy away.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good tip. I'm like you. I do, because I spend all day, every day training people on social media. I'm on social media all the time. I certainly don't
Yeah.
want to be on at night. So I'm like you. I do all my social media on the PC,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
quite frustrating when you get things like, the new Instagram edits app. And it's an app. You can't do it on the PC. And I'm like, oh,
There is
but
some irritations around actually how some of these social media are really
yeah,
pushing you to app,
they
aren't they?
are. They
But,
are. Yeah.
there's also the option, it's literally, 30 seconds to download an app. So if you wanted to post a reel or something and you're thinking, oh, but it's a bit hard to do on desktop, you can actually get the Instagram app, post your reel, and then delete it again. It doesn't have to be there all the time available to you. And I know some people
No.
do that daily. They kind of delete the app at 5 p.m. and put it back on again at 9 a.m. the next morning.
That's
It's,
interesting
it's,
idea.
it's a 20-second job, isn't it?
Yeah.
You go to Instagram, hit the button, and you've got it downloaded again.
Yeah.
So there's that option. Alternatively, if you do find you need to use your mobile a lot for those apps, just put them in like a folder out of the way. You don't have them there sat on your desktop. Sorry, on
Yeah.
your lock screen, phone screen. So it's not a case of if you're going on your phone for a different reason, it's kind of like they're looking at you and you think, oh, I'll just have a quick look at LinkedIn, kind of tuck it away in a folder, or just remove it from the screen completely. It'll still be there on your app list, but it's not showing itself to you.
Yeah.
So we don't have to kind of fight that urge to go into it.
Yeah. I'll put it on the third page of your apps rather than the
Yeah,
first page.
exactly, yeah. But
So you
yeah,
can't find it. Move it around each day so you can never
yeah,
find it.
makes Instagram done now. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I think I need to sort out folders on my phone. I've got far too many apps that are just not in any order whatsoever.
Oh, it's insane though. There's an app for them and everything now, isn't there? It just
There
feels
is.
no matter
Yeah.
how many times you think I'll go and clean them up, more
Yeah.
and more start coming out and appearing. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yeah. So those are some brilliant, brilliant tips. So how do you use it then, Sam? You've talked a little bit about yours, and I love the story of why you kind of transformed really and really focused on this digital well-being, because it's a really, really sort of important topic for you, isn't it? And I love the story
Yeah.
of how you got into that.
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was very much during COVID. As with all of us, things very much shifted, didn't they? And I was home alone with my three daughters. My husband was out of work, so he works in construction. So all of that was still ongoing. So he was out kind of 7 till 7 every day. And of course, I was then just a social media trainer. So I was, running a business, a social media training business, and trying to look after three young girls at the same time. And of course, everyone else would say, "Oh, we'll just do your training online," but it's very hard to do when you've got a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old running around the house.
Yeah.
Particularly a
Impossible.
1-year-old, because you can't just be
Yeah.
like, give me half an hour, give me an hour, and then we'll do something. They don't understand, do they?
No.
So I was finding that most of my business was being run through my phone. It just was a way of me keeping connected. And again, talking about the positive uses, that was great. But I think it slowly also became the tool I was using to escape reality a bit. And I
Yeah.
was spending a ridiculous amount of time on my phone. And And sort of two things happened really. Firstly, my middle daughter said to me, "You're always on your phone." And I think she added the line, "You love your phone more than me," which is obviously like dagger to the heart from your child. And then the second thing was, as with many people, by about June, July that year, my mental health had took a really, really big dip. Um, and I just thought, you know what, I just need to free myself of something. So I
Yeah.
deleted all the apps off my phone. I just thought,
Brilliant.
I'm just gonna like not go on social media on my phone, and I'm just gonna use it on my desktop. I'm gonna get rid of all the crap on there, and just have a complete clear out. And I did that for about a month, just didn't really go much on my phone at all. And it really did make a huge difference in my mental health. And
Yeah.
that's really what triggered me to go, there's something in this. There's
Yeah.
something in how we're using devices and how much time we're spending on them and how much time we're spending on social media that is negatively impacting our well-being. And it just really got me passionate about the subject, and hence decided to spread the love with it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it does massively affect your mental health. And it's such a
Yeah,
challenge because you get sucked in without realizing it, don't you? Because, like you
absolutely.
say, they are so clever at keeping you on those platforms.
Sure are. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sam, you've got an amazing download. I'm going to put it in the chat. So it's basically 10 ways to reduce your phone use. Is there anything else you want to finish with before we round up today on?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, it's always worth remembering that, I think sometimes when I speak to people, I'm like, oh God, I just hate my phone now. Our phones are amazing, amazing tools. Social media is amazing as a free, other than our time, source of advertising for our businesses. So this is definitely not a rejection of it. It's really just contemplating, am I doing it consciously or unconsciously? And if you're spending far too much time unconsciously using social media, then it's time to wake up and use it consciously.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Sam. If you want to connect with Sam on LinkedIn and Instagram, I would highly recommend giving her a follow. She's always sharing loads of tips and advice. And do download her 10 ways to reduce your phone use. It is very useful, and I have definitely taken away some of the tips that Sam has shared in the past. So I'd just like to say a huge thank you. Thank you, Sam, for joining me today and sharing some
Thanks
of
for
those
having me.
tips.
Thank you.
Again, if you're watching this on catch up, please do ask any questions, say hello, introduce yourselves. And thanks as always for watching. And I will be back next week, same time, with more tips and advice on social media. Thanks, guys. See you soon.